Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me directly, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions. Today, the discontinued, much loved, and widely recognized Rolex Oyster Perpetual Datejust Turn-O-Graph 116264 with a oyster steel case and a white gold bezel. This is a model that debuted in the early 1950s, originally one of Rolex's first serially produced rotating bezel watches. It was envisioned for travelers, technical professions, and pilots, and it was its own model line initially before dovetailing with the Datejust family later on and becoming a issue item for the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds, effectively the Air Force's version of the Navy Blue Angels, an aerobatic demonstration squadron. All that helped to earn the watch the nickname Rolex Thunderbird. Of course, the Turnograph was discontinued in the modern era around 2010, 2011, so this is a much sought piece, and there are a couple of different variations of the final model. This one's particularly punchy, of course, in steel, 36 millimeters in diameter, from lug tip to lug tip, just the case, 44.1 end link to end link. It is 45.6 millimeters across the wrist, 11.6 millimeters thick, with a 20 millimeter spacing in between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. It wears beautifully. Move the glove out of the way a bit, slide it further down the wrist where it would naturally sit. You can see these lugs are nowhere near the edge of my wrist. So this watch is suitable for him, for her. It's a power watch for both. And I would recommend it for a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, again, minus 16. And it'll slip easily under a cuff with a sloped flank and a thin cross section. Okay, oyster steel, what do I mean by that? I mean it is a high nickel content steel, technically known as 904L, which means it can withstand certain types of industrial acid, but more to the point, sea salt and sweat without needing to be rinsed. A conventional 316 steel can rust under those circumstances. This will not. The bezel is made of white gold. It's actually gray gold. It's the type that never needs to be rhodium plated and is an 18 karat white gold all the way through. And you can see it's got a slightly warmer tone than rhodium plated white gold compared to the steel, which is white. You can see it's a little bit darker. The watch features an oyster bracelet, so we've got a conforming end link to make it cleanly to the case. The 3-link sports design tapering down toward the clasp. Center links are polished, shoulder links are satinated, and the outer faces are polished. You can see we have removable links here. Note the intermediate size links in case you find yourself in between sizes. But we also, you can see they're fixed by screws too. The right way to do things. We have a little easy link 5mm tool-free snap-in, snap-out adjustment. And then if you look inside the clasp further, you can see that there are 3 pairs of divots, so you can use your strap tool to dismount the spring bar and change the anchoring point of the bracelet in the clasp. Polished down the center, polished faces, satin shoulders. We have this little beak and hook lift lock system. The little hang tag's getting in the way, but this actually latches closed and you need to lift to unlock it, so it has quite a bit of security when it is closed. Taking a look, we got a twin lock crown in steel. That's what that little slash means, and a oyster screwed in case back. 100-meter water resistant case, the oyster case dating back to 1926. And in combination with the automatic winding system, about 1933, that was the Oyster Perpetual. 1945, it becomes the Datejust, and around 52, 53, it becomes the Datejust, well, the Turnograph, which later becomes the Datejust Turn-O-Graph in the late 50s. So that's the full history of the model. Datejust Turn-O-Graph, also inspiring, I believe, I want to say it was the Vacheron 6782 or something like that. They had their own Thunderbird inspired by this. Now, taking a look at the case, you can see it's in excellent shape. It's got a nice, handsome, tapered, compound curved form, graceful. Gerald Genta once said he wished he had invented the Rolex Oyster case. One of his great regrets that he wasn't the designer of that, but that was a little bit before his time anyway, so he can't be blamed. The dial is truly white, and by that, I mean it is chalk white. It is a matte white. It is not gloss white, and it is not silver white. We have white gold indices, Rolex crown, and hands. They will never oxidize or tarnish. One of the interesting features here, you can see that the indices feature a matte finished segment and then a stepped mirror polished segment, giving it a little bit of a vintage look. There's no shortage of luminescence here. This is an M serial number, so produced in 2008. It was sold in 2009. You can see back then they were still using super luminova on the dials. The date is not a roulette, and that's why I have it set to 2, because on a roulette style Rolex date wheel you would have the even ones black and the odd ones red. So here you can see both evens and odds are red. We have a red varnished seconds hand, the Turnograph script down at 6 o'clock, the red on white date disc. You notice the hacking seconds. And then we also have a quick set function for the date. Inside the case, Rolex caliber 3135, manufacturer movement 28.5 millimeters in diameter, bidirectional winding, 48-hour power reserve, 31 joules, 4 hertz beat rate, 5 position adjusted, and a COSC certified Swiss chronometer. It has a full balance bridge and a free sprung balance for toughness against shock, and a Breguet overcoil hairspring. So in any position, this movement, which is a certified chronometer, will keep very consistent time. A much loved, historically important Rolex piece, and about as different from a common Datejust as you can get. Discontinued and highly sought. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.